Guys, man, we're gonna get straight into it. Sombra del Piso back once again. We are in the not the thick of night because it's pretty early still, but it is we're in night time currently. We're in the nocturne. I'm gonna talk to you guys about your journeys of semen retention yet again. I want to talk to you guys about essentially what's going on in the world as of from 2012 on. Since 2012, the world has taken a very, very deep turn. There have been a lot more covenants that are made with the individuals of the world, with dark forces, for temporary physical material gain. Individuals are willing to forfeit their sentience and their ability to coordinate with God, to follow God, right, and follow His precepts and His laws in exchange for power, in exchange for gain, and of course, in exchange for the futures of their souls. I want to talk to you guys about individuals. When you follow that path of semen retention, when you're celibate, guys, and not even just celibate, you're following the way of God. You've read the Bible. You are not angry at the people of the world. You don't seek vengeance. When they bump into you on the street, when they hit you, you're not trying to hit them back. You just accept it because they could only hurt your flesh. You understand that, but they cannot touch your soul, the one that's being tried constantly when God has put His eyes on you, when God has put His arms around your neck, when God has run His finger down your nape. When you're walking in this path, when you're walking on this within this light, you're going to understand and see the world for exactly what it is. And it's only an exchange of dark forces that are trying to infiltrate your built fortress of light. Let's get into it, guys. Like, comment, subscribe. I love you all, guys. Let's get into it. Let's get it. So the people of the world, I understand them. I'm going to talk about my experience. They essentially want material gains. We have the fathers that are deluded. They've grown up in completely shattered times, and they're completely disconnected from true masculinity, divine masculinity, which is the retention of your energy to then broadcast that energy throughout the world to influence and to uplift, to create righteousness, to create edifices of righteousness and piety. You can't blame them because the fathers were taught by their fathers, which were taught by their fathers. And now the children are going to be indirectly and directly influenced by parents that know nothing. They have no belief in God. They are completely seeking vengeance and power and domination, right? When you interact in the world, right, when you are on that practice of semen retention, when you're holding in that force, you're not seeking vengeance, you are trying to make your spirit, the quality of the fabric of yourself pure. You have gone through the first death, right, the death of the self that was conditioned by your parents who knew nothing. The conditioned by your parents that told you that God was outside of you and not within you, and following the rules that were set in the Bible to become closer to God and to destroy your old self. They didn't teach you that stuff, right? They taught you to worship outside and your religion is better than their religion. Delusion, all falsities, all lies, right? When you have gone through that first death and you have rebirthed, you have become a new person, your light is going to radiate from you. That's not yours. It's going to be from God. You are now one of his touched. You are following His precepts. You are following His rules. You are not casting anger. You're not casting doubt. You're not casting confusion. You're casting only truth and righteousness. People of the world are going to see you and perceive you for exactly what you are. They'll know that what you're doing. Their energy is going to make them uncomfortable because people that are generally not of God, that don't follow His precepts, that follow the ways of the world, are very, very afraid, right, of being around individuals that only radiate truth, only radiate light and righteousness, because it compels them, right? It shines through their ignorance. They are now made to believe and to walk forward with, you have to follow the rules. You have to be a good person. And so every conscious decision to continue being a bad person after their exposure to you is on them, and they will receive the karmic penalty for their inaction or their refusal and denial of the divine truth. You need to also understand that with this light in you, people are going to try to take it from you. People are going to try to manipulate you into getting rid of your energy. I say this in a lot of videos, but it really rings true, and this is the reason why I say it over and over and over and over again, because it is very, very real. This world really operates with individuals that are trying to take from you. They don't respect you. They don't like you. They don't see you as a person. They don't acknowledge your experiences of your past. They don't care about your hobbies or who you like musically, or the types of history that you're really into. They don't care about that. They only want to take your energy from you in order to fulfill their own selfish, short-sighted goals of fornication, of seeking the flesh, pleasure, materialism. That's most people. If they're not of God, they're doing that. You're gonna walk through the world and understand your family members are like this. When you have family, let's give you guys examples of all of this, right? Just so I'm not giving you a broad, general message that I give you in most of my videos. When you are living with your family, you have gone through the first death. You're on semen retention. You're holding your energy in. You're transmuting that energy into hobbies. Maybe you're drawing. Maybe you're writing. Whatever it may be. Whatever creative endeavor. And then you are walking in truth. You're no longer tempted by the flesh, by sex. Women will come up to you with the sole intention of trying to take you out of your power. Men are coming up to you with the sole intention of trying to manipulate you with doctrine, with dark, shadowy doctrine of their forefathers, right? That were only meant to delude. You're able to walk away from that. Your family is going to come around you and try to manipulate you. They have a direct link to you, and so you are able to be manipulated. You are able to be malleable to their opinions, their points of view. This is what the world will send after you. Right now we are in a time, this 2026, just in case you guys need reminding, this is an age where a lot more people are becoming more and more enlightened. I see a lot of individuals trying to go on semen retention, trying to follow the will of God, honestly, like not trying to fornicate, not trying to drink, not trying to smoke, do any of that heathen stuff. And I appreciate that so much. You guys don't know how much I love you guys for doing this, because I'm telling you, these things are bad in and of itself, because wine poisons the body. Alcohol enervates and poisons the body. It causes liver cancer. Your liver is only meant to filter the toxins from the things that you eat, because things are going to have bacteria, things are going to have dirt and disease, right? Your liver is meant to process those things. Your liver is not meant to consistently process alcohol. Alcohol is just poison. Cigarette smoke. When you smoke cigarettes, you are enervating the body. You are sending a message to your nervous system to constantly bind to this product, this habit, which is nicotine. The product is nicotine. The habit is smoking it, to satiate you when you are anxious because of the direction and trajectory of God's will through the way of experiences. These people, you could do whatever the heck you want, but these things are bad in and of itself because of that and what it leads to. These are why these things are bad. That's why you have to stay away from it. That's why I've stayed away from it for all this time, a decade and change. When you are around people that do these things, right? I'm telling you, when you're on this journey, when you have that light in you, you have that energy. It attracts people. It attracts parasites, it attracts the unclean, it attracts dark forces. Women will be very, very alluring, trying to, with silver tongues, right, with hands as bands and mouths as nets, right? They're gonna try to take your energy from you, and if you are complicit in that, if you agree indirectly or directly, then you have lost. Men will come up with the tattoos of God's quotes. Oh, only God could judge me, and you need to be afraid of the strange woman, and power only comes to the righteous. When these guys, they have all these quotes and these iconography all over their body, and what do? They lust after the 14-year-old. They lust after the young women. They lust after the flesh. Their value is tied to their watches, their cars, their houses, how many people they can exploit. If I can charge interest on these individuals that have no concept of it because they were brought up in a school system that only taught them about theoretical information that cannot be practically applied, then I win. I am a champion. I am the king of the world amongst the ones that have done that before me. Exploitation, selfishness, greediness, haughtiness, pride. These are my gods. These are my idols. These are people that you got to stay away from, and you will have that light and that discerning power to be able to spot these individuals, these evil demons, and stay away from them. There's a lot you can learn from them, of course. When you see a lot of that heathenism in action, you actually learn, of course, when that light of God in you sort of learn to stay away from that kind of stuff. You sort of dislike it even more. And you sort of think that a lot of these guys are really heartless. How can you manipulate a fellow human being and exploit a fellow human being? Like, that's nuts, isn't it? This whole place, everything that you do in this world exists within interaction, exists between the contact of two forces. As being a person of light, being someone that has light, you are most likely going to come into contact with people that are dark. Your light must shine. You must not be afraid to shine your light in front of men and women alike that have been taken on to the beast system, that has been taken on to the system of demons, that has been taken on to this world of darkness. You must not be afraid to shine your light in front of them in hopes that they can change, the trajectory of where this world is headed. We have a lot of individuals that read the news, that are constantly addicted to social media, and that's their God. Right? We have the women that lust after the material wealth, the Bottega Veneta, the Proenza Scoulet, the Chanel, the Louis Vuitton. They don't know the history of any of these brands. They only want the material in order to look good in front of other women, to dominate, to control. They want to be alluring to men. Men want these things as well, to dominate their fellow man, to dominate other women, to control. This whole place is taken onto fornication and control. It's all dark, it's all evil, it's all heathen. They will try to communicate with you to try to take your energy. They know when you are walking with that light, it's almost like you have a seal on you. You have been anointed almost. And so they're going to spot exactly who you are. They know who you are. They know where you come from. They want that energy for themselves. This whole place operates in a way of energy harvesting. The people want that energy for themselves. They want your light. They want to keep it. They don't want to do the work to produce their own light. They don't want to go through the trials and tribulations to produce their own fire, their own energy. They want to take yours. They want to knock you down. They're not happy with a seat appointed directly to them with their name on it. They want your refrigerator with your name on it. And they want to raid your fridge and take everything from it and leave you barren. They want your food. They don't want theirs. This is how the world operates. This world operates only with black energies, black magic. It's darkness. Most people that I talk to, I'm going to tell you my example. I was going to the office today. The amount of heathen behavior I've seen, people not paying for the subway, right? There are people not paying for public transportation. People that are yelling on the bus without any consideration for anyone around them. People that are cursing. They speak about sex in completely carelessly, lackluster. They just speak about it like it's something normal to them. Oh, I want to sleep with this person. I want to sleep with this person. I want to share my energy. And it's like they don't care at all about any of God's rules. We have people of different colors, different races, different religions, all taken into the same thing. You look, what is it? I glance left. We're in a crowded bus. I glance left. I look at someone's phone. They're trying to lust after the poor woman, right? That knows that she's being lusted after, but she wants to take that energy. It's a black magic ritual exchange. That's all they want. Everyone wants energy. They fake it all the time. They drink coffee because they want to feel energy. They're not able to do the work, the physical work that's granted to us all as human beings that are able to move their bodies. They don't want to go to the gym. They don't want to do calisthenics. They don't want to do cardiovascular activities. They want shortcuts. GLP-1, right, which is the Ozempic drug. That's the weight loss drug. I read about it last week before going into the restaurant to begin my shift for the evening. What that does is essentially helps the individual that takes the drug lose weight by fooling the endocrine system from releasing hormones or signals to the brain that it's hungry at its appointed times, that the human body gets hungry. It's a biohack that manipulates the endocrine system to fool human beings because we don't have willpower anymore. We have no more willpower anymore. We need to take shortcuts. When we need energy to get through the day, we don't have our appointed hours of sleep. We don't eat whole foods. We don't eat vegetables. We don't eat fruits. We don't refrain from fornication. No, we drink the 5-hour energy drink. We drink the coffee. We drink the Red Bull. And then we go out after our long shifts at work because our brains are not functioning properly. So we have like these menial tasks at work. We work long hours at our shifts, and then we leave work and then we party. We seek to go into a place where individuals that claim that they follow God, they're everywhere, men and women alike, tattoos all over their skin, of all races, all creeds, all religions. They claim that they follow God. The back of someone's neck, it says, "Only God can judge me," and he's looking around in complete lust and a hypnotic state to control the woman. The woman has tattoos of time, worshiping Saturn, worshiping the six-sided star, worshiping the hexagon, worshiping the things of this world, right? And then there's a quote at the back of her arm, is something in Italian, right? Which is like some quote maybe from Dante Alighieri. And then she's still taking on to lust, right? She lusts after the man with the gold chain that believes in no God, believes in nothing, no willpower, no discipline, no righteous pillars. And then we get taken onto these environments, and then we're scantily dressed. We are showing off ourselves to the people of the world. We want to give up our energy. We want to take theirs. We want to keep mixing indiscriminately. We don't know their genetic background. We don't know their spiritual work. We don't know if they've been tried. We don't know who they believe in. We don't know what kind of covenants they've made with secret societies. We don't know what kind of blasphemies they made in 10 minutes earlier to meeting you against the Lord God himself, the King of Kings. We know nothing about these people, but we want to mix with them because we're so lustful. This is what we are on this planet. Not we, by the way, everyone else. You are on that practice of semen retention. You build that light within you. You're following the Bible. You are going to be walking through these environments of just lust, right? Of just desires of the flesh. You're going to be walking through it like it's nothing, right? You're going to see them for what they are. Just like, the Matrix Resurrections, when Neo was going through that club hell with the Merovingian, and there was just energy vampires everywhere trying to siphon all of the energy from the realized individual Neo, integrated both sides of himself, right? This is what it is. This world functions as just a black magic ritual. They want to siphon ultimately the energy of the children of light. The individuals that you don't necessarily need to be a children of light. It's just people that just want your energy. They just want your life force. And when they are living in the world, doing things from day to day, paying taxes, buying into the beast system, pledging allegiance to this system that supports individuals that mess with children, that have not been tried, that have not been brought to justice, but will receive their righteous justice for sure, right? These people only care about worshiping that system. They don't care about the God of God, the King of Kings, let alone care about God's precepts. They see you all the time. They see you walking upright. They are going to look at you. They're waiting like hounds. They're waiting like wolves, ravenous wolves, Fenrir's from Norse mythology, waiting to consume you. The moment you let your guard down, right, you falter. Maybe there is no God. God has forsaken me. Maybe I should be taken onto fornication. Maybe I should drink alcohol. Maybe I should drink these heathen drinks. Maybe I should smoke. Maybe I should smoke weed. When your defense is lowered, when your spiritual faith and your belief is falters by just a second, the hounds and wolves and Fenrir's of the world will leap upon you. It's like they taste blood. These sharks, these evil tiburons, right? They're looking for energy. That's what they're looking for. They're on the hunt for it. They're on deep pursuit. All of them. These people that will come up to you, you go into these places, you'll walk around, especially these very, very occultic cities like London, New York, Tokyo, LA, San Francisco, Paris. You're gonna the Netherlands, Amsterdam. These places are occult centers. These people, you're gonna be walking through very busy areas. You're gonna have that energy of semen retention in you. You're following the precepts of God. These people are looking at you like sharks, like hounds, like Fenrir's. They know exactly what the Bible says about goodness and righteousness. They know exactly what God said in regards to fornication. They know exactly what God said about returning evil with evil and not trying to do that. They know exactly who you come in the name of, and they're going to try to let you forsake your doctrine that was given to you by God. They want you to give up your light. The only way that they can have you give up that light is when you are complicit in giving up that light. When you choose to forsake God, when you choose to forsake the precepts, you see that the woman, right? As an individual, we're talking to the males now, you are an individual on semen retention, you're following that light, you have the religious doctrines in you, you're following God, and the woman comes up to you smiling at you. You believe for a second, and then you take that thought in your heart that perhaps she is different, but it's only your nervous system that she's communicating with. She is not talking to you. She is talking to the inner adversary. Satan exists outside and inside. Outside in the individuals that have forfeited their sentience to the dark one, to dark doctrines, to Belial, to Asmodeus, right? For lust, to fulfill pleasure, to fulfill the whims of the flesh. That's Satan there, and Satan's inside, which comes in the form of your nervous system, conditioning you through the external things of the world, right? Through the shirts that people wear, through the chains that have these dark religious iconography, this paraphernalia, these demon-like sigils, right, that you see in the Lesser Key of Solomon. These are all influences and conditioning that barrages and salvos your poor nervous system. And your nervous system, when it's untrained due to a lack of light from their practices of semen retention and following the whims of God, you are assailed by your nervous system in your dreams. Your dreams will try to validate for you to forsake your covenant with God, to forsake your belief in the Most High, to forsake your disciplines, your sexual disciplines, your strength in sacred doctrine. This is what that will happen. This is what is going to continue to happen. You must understand the world for what it is. You look at the world. Women will be beautiful. Men will seem alluring to speak to because they seem well-rounded. They're going to seem knowledgeable, but it is all lies. It is all lies. You will know an individual from their fruits. These people will influence you and try to take your energy from you. They want you to give it up. They want you to surrender it. When you build that light, that's authentic. Taylor Swift does not have that anymore. Justin Bieber has given up his light a very, very long time ago. All of these celebrities have all given themselves up to the darkness. They have all forfeited their souls for personal material gain. They worship sex. That is it. These people are sending you songs and giving you doctrine and updating their social media accounts with ideals that are barraging your nervous system, so you succumb to the inner adversary, which is Satan manifest in you. They want you to forfeit your covenant with God. Jesus Christ is a fantasy that only exists in the New Testament. Give him up. Semen retention, why are you celibate in 2026? We're supposed to mix with each other. Come be complicit and share yourself in the dark magic ritual of the world, where you mix with this person, you mix with that person, you mix with that person, you mix with that person, and then in 5 years, or not even that, 5 weeks, you're trying to figure out why you're taking all of these drugs and medication for anxiety, for things that you've never had, for mental issues that has never been in your bloodline, right? Where do you think that comes from? Where do you think this thing spawns from? This is what the world does to you. It's something that only exists to siphon your energy. I've been saying this over and over in the same video. I'm gonna stop now, right? Because I've been talking so much. But I need you guys to truly understand this. These people are gonna come to you from all angles. Do not be fooled. Do not be dismayed, and do not be manipulated. You need to look at it is better to walk away and assume that an individual is trying to siphon your energy than to be complicit in their ways. Walk with them when they're trying to cause you to sin, when they're trying to cause you to stumble. The people of this world have no energy, none. They all have ersatz substitutes for the divine light that can be achieved only through discipline and adherence to God. They drink coffee, they drink alcohol, they smoke cigarettes, they lust after the young man, they lust after the young woman, they lust after the dogs, they lust after the cat. They are taken on to sin perpetually forever, mate. This is the truth. Steel yourself, gird your loins, follow the will of God. Read King Solomon's words in the Wisdom of Solomon, Ecclesiastes, the Proverbs. Listen to David. Go into the New Testament. Listen to Paul. Listen to Jesus Christ. Everything that he said, right? Hebrews, the lesser will take from the greater. What is that? What do you think that means? The lesser. These individuals that have no energy, none. They drink alcohol. They have huge stomachs that have nothing but tapeworms, right? That absorb their energy because they're taken onto the things of the world. Guys, this is not a joke. This is not a joke. Steel yourselves. Be healthy. Drink water. Don't ever drink alcohol. Do not take what they're giving you. Do not accept their advice. Don't listen to what they're saying. Do not accept their doctrines. We have the women, right? They're foreign. They read the Albert Camus, right? Depressing artists to keep you into a depressive, nihilistic, hedonist state. Life means nothing. There is no God. There is no higher power. The world is governed by only cause and effect. There is no outer force. The world has came about through evolution and the Big Bang. There is no divine energy. There is no God. That's their beliefs. That's the heathen belief. You have these women that read the Fyodor Dostoevsky, depressing as hell, dark energy, black magic rituals. They do not care about God. They don't. They do not. I'm telling you, stay away from them. I love you all, guys. Let's get into it, guys. I hope you guys enjoy that kind of content. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, share the video with some peers. Don't ever let this place get you down. Stay away from the overweight. Stay away from the heathen. Stay away from the drunkards. Stay away from the people that smoke cigarettes, that smoke weed. Stay away from the individuals that are not celibate. I am telling you, you think that I'm crazy just yelling this type of stuff. You will figure it out on your own. Don't listen to me. You will figure out your consequences. You will figure it out. I love you all, guys. Stay radiant. I'm going to see you guys in the next video.